Alright, today we're going to have a triple bill of runs. Now I don't do that very often, but I'm at the point where I have so many runs recorded. I have something like 25 plus runs that are all waiting to be edited and uploaded. So we're going to have to do them in batches, otherwise I'm never going to get through them. But these runs are all interconnected because we're going to use some of the same pets across the various runs. As here we face a very strange team where they had a front hatching chick on turn 5. I'm not, I guess having a front hatching chick, the only time that would ever make sense is if you had Komodo, but yeah, very strange. So anyway, run number 1, what we're going to go for here is Giant Squirrel with Queen Bee. Now, of course you can see that I already have a bunch of honeys, and the whole purpose of the Giant Squirrel's ability is after attack, it gives honey to pets at the back of your team. Of course it will skip over pets. I say give honey, it will give it whichever perk it's holding. It skips over pets that already have honey. So you can see in that last battle, the platypus ended up getting honey because the iguana and the queen bee already had it. And what I want to do is use this as a method of essentially healing any ailments. So if the queen bee or the iguana at the back ended up losing the honey, maybe as a result of red dragon or bat, it could be something as rarely seen as fruit fly. The giant squirrel will be able to replenish the honey. And as it goes up in level, it gets more triggers, so it can do that multiple times. We also get the benefit of replacing the perks on the opposing team with honey. Now here we actually face a mantis with the turtle at the back, so the honey is not going to do anything. But you can see how that would be useful for us, where we could be removing protective items from pets at the back. We could be removing mushroom. But I also wanted to combo this with the iguana, because any pets that do end up getting honey, as long as the iguana is still alive, it's just going to snipe the bee that spawns as well. Now here, big unit with garlic is going to be too much for us, I think. Yeah, we're 1 HP away there from knocking out the dodo, but I think they still had too many stats on the rest of their squad anyway. Now we're going to go for toilet paper. I think it's probably a bit too late in the game to be trying to take lasagna. Flounder to get the queen bee to level 3 as quick as possible. Now, Queen Bee is one of those really fun new units that they added, which is kind of, it's mixed, I would say, in terms of power level. In the mid-game, it can feel extremely strong, being able to summon these units with 7/7 stats, or higher if you manage to get to level 3 quicker. But ultimately, the Queen Bee by itself is relatively weak in the late game if you don't also stack another summon support unit like Turkey or German Shepherd on the board as well. So we get level 3 Queen Bee. I'm taking the Flying Squirrel just to keep the toilet paper going. Actually, one of the original plans for this run was to have as many of the squirrels as possible. So there's regular squirrel from Turtle Pack, but there's also albino squirrel, which isn't too good for keeping in the team because the ability, it's a cell pet, obviously. So it's not going to do a whole lot, but this is really funny with the mole getting to activate because of the honey that we gave to their backline units, and then the iguana just sniping absolutely everything. So yeah, this pack was set up for both Queen Bee plus Giant Squirrel, but also trying to get as many squirrels as possible, which is why we've taken the regular squirrel from Turtle Pack there. It does also help us discount the food. Unfortunately here the toilet paper doesn't do anything because gingerbread goes off first, and it's level 3 Phoenix inside the beluga, so this is going to be an automatic loss. I think, yeah, the Kraken is going to be the only survivor plus the Phoenix spawn anyway, so we never had a chance there. And I am going for the level 3 Giant Squirrel here, even though it's probably unlikely to get its ability going 3 times. In fact, I think almost every battle it gets knocked out at the first attempt. Here's the person that only plays the heart pets. Leech plus Camel, Leech plus Triceratops every game. So yeah, we're not going to be good enough to beat them. But I think at some point here, I think I'm going to sell the Squirrel and get something stronger in, because it's not doing us any favors in the battle. It would also be nice to be able to actually get a higher level on the toilet paper. But then here we actually face Queen Bee on the opposing side. Very, very rare for that to happen. So you get to see the additional effect of the Queen Bee's ability, where it actually removes the opposing Queen Bee. And of course that was partly introduced to make sure that you couldn't run 2 Queen Bees in the early game and have double turkey on turn 3. But yeah, it also has the effect of removing opposing units. And then unfortunately here on turn 15, we get matched with this double eel, triple scalar. So we just have no chance whatsoever. I think even if I'd had like a German Shepherd online at this point, I might have struggled against that team because we just didn't have that many summons. Alright, next run we're going to go for another team with Giant Squirrel. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to play Whale Shark at the back. So the idea is it doesn't really matter what the perk is that the Giant Squirrel has, as long as it's useless for the opposing team. But every time it triggers its ability, it's going to feed the Whale Shark at the back and it will gain some additional stats. So Whale Shark is a unit that used to be considered one of the worst in the game. I think it's extremely good now. There have been so many adjustments that have been made that improve the effectiveness of units like Whale Shark. Not least the transform mechanics. You can scale a Whale Shark up incredibly quickly and then completely remove the downside of not being able to take equipment by transforming it into something else. And yeah, maybe we'll make use of that later in the run. I can't remember exactly which run this is. Now we do swap the stats with the lollipop because if I'm buying lots of wall chicken, then we know we're going to get extra attack. So swapping the stats over balances that out a little bit. Mole plus PDF. Always love to see mole teams, and I think we're going to lose. Yep. Not surprising, really. Whale Shark, although you can scale it so quickly, you can't take equipment until you've transformed it. So we're going to be susceptible to those type of targeted snipes. Of course, it does have the added benefit of consuming ailments as well. So, it does allow us to counteract things like Flea, which are incredibly common. So I take Kappa here. I just want to pill the Kappa and get a 1417 unit, is it? Or 1416? It does look like, unfortunately, they're going to get a spawn from the Kappa as well. And it actually ends up being puppy versus puppy. But I think this time the Whale Shark gaining the stats is going to be good enough for us to get another victory. And of course, after start of battle, the health potion doesn't do anything. So essentially, the health potion is just there to remove equipment on the opposing side. So I pill the Kappa and we get 1416 Foo Dog. Probably could Water of Youth it. Alright, we get Anteaters, so that's a better hit. And then we're going to freeze the Visitor, which is the perfect teammate for Whale Shark because we can remove opposing equipment, give them a pretty painful ailment, and then also gain some more stats on our side. It also kind of levels the playing field. If they have good equipment, the Whale Shark can't take. The Visitor removing it, just makes the Whale Shark all that more effective. So we take the almost level 3 Whale Shark. I'm going to buy another wall chicken. And then we're going to take double Visitor in the middle. So Visitor is one of those units that almost always people play it in the front slot. But I think there's a lot more scope now to use it in different positions in the team. There are lots of pets that have abilities now that, maybe they were kind of one-dimensional before, but I think Visitor is underused and can definitely be incorporated into a few different builds these days. Of course, Whale Shark has existed since Puppy Pack was revamped, but it's just all the other changes to do with perks that have really made these types of combos that much more usable. So here, big unit with garlic, but it looks like the visitor is going to get the job done, knock out the rabbit by removing the garlic and doubling the damage. The ailment the visitor applies used to be called exposed, but now it's called icky. I feel like I just want to keep calling it exposed because I'm so used to it, but I'm sure I'm going to make that mistake going forwards. So I take cauliflower here. This was another perk that I wanted to get involved somehow. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to work with Giant Squirrel. Or at least I'm sure I tested it and it didn't work. But yeah, it was pretty unreliable. It's probably one of the worst perks in the game. You can see there what happens is when you knock out an opponent, you gain 1/1 in stats, but it only happens once. And yeah, it's just not very good, as here we lose by 1 HP there on the whale shark, unfortunate. But we're in a good spot. We still have 3 hearts, turn 12, 8 trophies. So what I'm going to do here is feed up the giant squirrel a bit. Hopefully that's going to make its ability go off more than once. Now, I can also take Crane on the giant squirrel. Now, Crane, originally what I wanted to happen was the giant squirrel with cauliflower would attack and then gain the stats, and then the crane would give it melon. However, it turns out that doesn't actually work. The cauliflower ability, even if you get the knockout, it doesn't go off before it gets replaced by the melon from the crane. I think it does work here with the health potion. I'm not actually sure if our giant squirrel is big enough to survive any hits this late in the game. Yeah, you can see again it gets one shot by the raccoon. So at this point we're kind of relying heavily on the whale shark being absolutely massive. And we do just scrape a win in this round. So that does put us on 9, even though the combo is kind of petering out at this point. And then I decide to change the position on the visitor. The cauliflower just doesn't do enough. And then feeding up the giant squirrel to try and get at least one activation in this next round. And it's actually Blammer with a really fun looking team with Axolotl with Mushroom and Amalgamation, so you get the double permanent scaling. And then also Seagull with Tardigrade, which, you know, I always love to see Tardigrade. And I think the weakness, of course, the icky/exposed gets applied to the Seagull, and the Mushroom loop is broken. Alright, last run of the day, we're going for another whale shark build. And you can see here I have level 3 albino squirrel, which I haven't had that too many times, but it gives me 3 free foods, which can be used to pump the whale shark full of stats. We actually got a wall chicken there, which was incredibly lucky. So we got an extra bit of attack there. And then of course we can take question marks guy and boost up the whale shark every end of turn. I'm also going to take Visitor again. Like I said before, it's the perfect teammate. I don't think there's anything else necessarily here in the shop, but I do roll another whale shark. Now, I think I had set myself the target here of playing a double whale shark team. We want the higher level Visitor to give us the max amount of assistance in terms of in-battle scaling. And I think, yeah, we're going to be okay here. Nice to see that team had the transformed quail. So, yeah, the concept I wanted to go for on this particular run was to activate Visitor at start of battle and also transform the whale sharks. So the whole idea is that we're going to apply ailments to our opponents. We're going to gain the stats immediately from the ailments on the whale sharks. And then the whale sharks are going to become different units. So they actually have more of an in-combat ability that hopefully can take good advantage of the ailments being applied to the other side. Now, clearly there's only going to be one realistic way of doing that, and that is with Pelican. Pelican has really become one of the most powerful units in customs by a long distance. and it's also incredibly versatile. So I kind of don't mind it too much, even though it is definitely too strong as it is. But it allows you to create some really, really creative teams. And we're going to look at one of them right now. So classic one big unit at the front gets demolished by the ailments. That's going to help us get everything set up for our Pelican here. So we take level 2 visitor, and I can't remember what the last unit on the team is here. Obviously we don't want to keep the tier 1 question marks guy the whole way. We'd much rather have something else that's going to power up our squad and hopefully get us to the point where we can just win that one last round to get the combo over the line. Now we do face Axolotl here, but it's not really a heavy perks team, so we take another victory. Of course, actually the final unit on the team is decided in advance for this particular build, but I think I was just keeping the Manta Shrimp frozen just in case I was desperate or starting to lose hearts. Unusual 4 squad here on turn 11. Not sure how they ended up with a 4 squad with Shark, but I'll take it. We need level 2 Pelican. And of course we cannot have the Pelican swallow the whale sharks because you can't put strawberry on them. I guess that's not strictly true. It is possible to get a whale shark with strawberry on it, but I think it's pretty, it's an awful lot of investment, and you need a bit of good RNG. But yeah, we're going to end up putting strawberry on the visitor at the front, and then also onto one other unit, which I'm sure many observant viewers will have worked out already. Level 3 hatching chick, but we do luckily scrape a draw. And I'm just going to feed up the visitor a bit more because we know that it's going to get swallowed by the Pelican. So yeah, if we give the Pelican pancakes, that puts the visitor's health over 25. So that means that the salmon that spawns from the Pelican will snipe twice. Full snipe squad. It does knock out the Pelican, although we haven't equipped the strawberry yet, so it doesn't actually make any difference. And I think we're going to win anyway, so yeah. The scaling on even just level 1 whale shark is so effective these days. And I actually just buy the regular food onto whale shark because it's only level 1, so I think getting the +6 health from the celery there is better than taking a +2/2. And now we find the last unit that we need for the team, which is the ammonite. So I wasn't exactly sure if this was going to work or not, but I was keen to try it out anyway just to see. Looks like we're going to lose here, I think, to a solid looking summon team, although they are actually going to knock out their own Spino. So maybe we can get away with a tie. Actually, we're going to win. Of course, it's Pelican, one of the best units in the game, so not surprising there. Although we did only swallow 1 unit. I think I accidentally rolled past this chocolate. I'm not sure why. I guess I was just looking for the strawberry. So we take the strawberry on the ammonite. I guess it's because I'm already on 8 trophies. But I definitely should have frozen that other chocolate. Don't know what was going on there. But now this is the combo I wanted to test. And I wasn't really sure if it was going to work. But you can see what happens. The visitor goes first. The whale sharks gain the stats. And then the ammonite transforms. So we get the benefit of both. Unfortunately, we run into a meta Axolotl perk scaling team. So we never really had a chance here. But with 3 hearts, we do still get a couple more opportunities. And luckily here, the shop bails me out after I failed to take the chocolate last turn. And then we'll just roll down enough times to get 2 level 2 Mimic Octos. And then this is incredible. You'll love to see this. I'm not sure I've seen anyone going for the level 3 chick achievement in customs for quite a while. And this is like a perfect example of a Jersey Devil team that doesn't really feel unfair or egregious. You know, they don't have, it's an actual summon team. They don't have every unit with 30/30 stats. In the end, we didn't even need the salmon snipes there. So I'm just going to feed the 2 whale sharks, and then that leaves us enough gold to roll 4 times. And then I think I actually make a mistake here. I should roll 4 times instead of buying this this strawberry jam. I don't know why I did that. It makes a lot more sense just to get the double level 2. But instead, we actually get very, very fortunate here to match with a free-to-play opponent. Now, you'll love to see second position Badger as well. And although their team makes a good effort at trying to beat ours, the Salmon Snipes are just too strong. And we take the win with a double whale shark transformation team. Now, I was impressed with that free-to-play person, so I went ahead and gifted them Unicorn Pack. And it was really nice to actually see them later in the week playing with the Unicorn Pack pets and having a grand old time. And while this last clip from the same play session runs in the background, I'll just say well done for making it this far. You know, I don't upload 20+ minute videos very often. And to celebrate clearing 3 videos from the backlog, I'm going to put some puppy pack codes hidden throughout the video, and I will post in the comments once they've all been claimed to stop anyone wasting their time looking for them. But if you're a free-to-play player, good luck. Hope you find one of the codes, and I'll see you out there in customs.